I want y'all to put y'all hands together and help me welcome Chef Chicken, Chef Jannard Wells, Omar Dorsey, and Greg Tillery. Omar, what's good, brother?
What's happening, bro? How you doing,
Nice
bro?
to meet you, man.
Is that Shaheed over there? That's my little brother.
Let's go, baby.
How y'all doing today, fellas?
Good, good.
Good.
Coolin'.
So, Chicken, I wanted to start with you, brother. I know me personally, like as a young boy, many times our mother, our grandmother would always tell us to get out the kitchen when they were cooking and everything, but your mother actually welcomed you into the kitchen as a taste tester when you were young. Tell me, when exactly did your love for food begin, and can you pinpoint the moment when you wanted to make cooking your career?
Food has been my spirit animal my entire life. You hear me? I am and live through food. That's just been, as far as I can remember, infatuation with it. As far as moving into it personally and really getting involved in it, it was something I stumbled into. Just being it, my life focus, since I'm such a large individual, starting off was playing ball. And one way when I was playing ball to save money was to cook. You hear me? And through the birth of social media and showing off what you're cooking is where I found the passion and found my talent, really, and what my true focus could be in life, which is something that I focus on my whole life, which is food.
That's dope, brother. Greg, congratulations on all your success, my brother. I've been watching you for a long time, man. Weedats has grown so much. You started with a food truck to having a physical business, and then you grew to a nationwide brand. How were you able to build your business from a local spot to a restaurant known nationwide?
Point blank period, the city of New Orleans, the people that travel, from near and far to come and support us. Brothers like this brother that done put me in rooms, and we've had conversations that have gave us more exposure. So, I'm nothing without the city of New Orleans and the people that support me. So the reason why I'm even on this stage is because of the support of the city and everybody that support Weedats.
I love that. Omar, so I'm actually going to you now, my brother. I wanted to speak to you about the emotional aspect of cooking, man. Like, what feelings come to you, and what is special about being in the kitchen and being able to create for yourself and other people?
You know what? It's the preparation, right? It's like a ritual. I try to eat to be healthy. So, like, when I cook, I know what I'm putting in my stuff. Instead of like getting an Uber, even though I love Greg food. Me and Greg, when I'm in the city, first person I call is Greg.
I love you to that.
Yeah, but like when I'm in my kitchen, I like to. It feels like almost like religious, because I know what I'm putting in. I know what foods I'm putting inside of me, and I try, like I said, I try to be healthy. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
Chef Jannard, what's going on, brother?
What's up?
So you, as many of the folks up here too, y'all not just chefs, you are an entrepreneur, an author, and a host of the show New Soul Kitchen. How did the opportunity for that show come about, and in what ways has it impacted your life and career?
The opportunity of New Soul Kitchen really changed my life, but it came about from the creator of Cleo TV, Michelle Rice, who spearheaded it. And Cleo is for millennial women of color. But of course, you always got to have a little male testosterone on that thing. But I've always been a lover of TV One and Cleo TV, and I thought it was so important when we came together to tell how we see food and why we love food. Because I feel that we are the true creators of American cuisine as a whole. So bridging into that and sharing the knowledge of the enrichment of our culture, because that's what it's really about, why we cook the way we cook. And Cleo TV and Michelle Rice brainchild in this event, helping bring it to life, really just made all the difference in the world. And not to mention my powerhouse production team, are all phenomenal ladies, because I think every great man has great women behind him. And with that team behind me has helped take the show on to its 5th season now.
So this next question is actually for you, Greg, and you, Chicken. Cause you spoke about New Orleans earlier,
Yes.
too, and I'm born and raised there too, so I
Facts.
definitely
What part?
understand. Yes, yes.
What part you said you from?
7th Ward all day.
Oh, I'm from the 7th Ward too. St.
I'm from
Bernard
the
and
7th
Broad,
Ward, too.
brother.
Oh.
You hear me? Yeah.
See?
That's why I was born there, at
We
least.
here, we here.
Yeah.
So I can
Oh,
start with
he-
you, Chicken. How would you describe New Orleans cuisine and living in a culinary hub such as New Orleans? How do you think it impacted your cooking style?
Just like I started this off with, food in New Orleans is life. You hear me? That's culture. That's our entire existence. That's our entire being. Everything we do, we live through, it all starts with food. You hear me? That actually, the mark of whether you're gonna show up to the party or not is depending on who cooking and who house is that. You hear me? So that's in every five-man being of our existence, I believe.
Greg, what you got, brother?
Man, for me, to be honest with you, I've been doing this 10 plus years. So one thing that I love about food, especially in New Orleans, is that it brings our entire city together. So, I mean, that's what we built on, the culture, the cuisine, you know, especially for Weedax, like, I know my clientele and I know the people that's coming in. So I try to tell my team, every plate, every time has to be right, because people they paying their part of doing what they need to do to give us the money to prepare the food. But if we not doing what we supposed to do, then it's a problem. So it's like me, when you see me and you come in the restaurant, you're gonna see me in the kitchen, making sure that every plate, every time is right. So for me, like, New Orleans got 3,000-4,000 restaurants. So how do you separate yourself from everybody else? And for me, it's customer service. So I'm not gonna tell nobody on my team to go clean the bathrooms if I ain't gonna clean the bathrooms. When you see me, I'm behind the fryers, I'm not in the front. I'm not politicking with everybody. I speak to everybody, but I'm making sure that the plates are right. So, I mean, New Orleans is just known for, like I said, the culture, the cuisine. We got some of the most talented people that's came out of this city. So, I mean, for me, that's just my motto. That's my mission statement. That's how I'm running with it. Go ahead, what you about to say? Go ahead, what you about to say?
Yo,
Oh, no. I was just
Omar.
noticing how many people was here supporting me just now. Because you can't really see with the lights on, I was just waving at my people. You hear me?
Okay.
Yo, and the thing about it is, like, I live in LA, I'm from Atlanta, I lived here for 7 years. Yo, whenever I tell people I'm going to New Orleans, the first thing they talk about is the cuisine. That's the first thing they talk about. Oh, you about to eat good. Because it's something that y'all do out here. Y'all put the heart and soul into every goddamn plate. And I appreciate it, man. I love this city. That's why I was damn near 300 pounds living in this goddamn city.
My boy looking good, though. That's what I told him when
I had
I
to
see him in the
leave.
back.
There's a secret to that, as I tell people. You can eat what you want as long as you're eating with a fork. The reason why is because all the calories fall through the cracks.
Say no more.
I didn't know that.
That's a good one.
That's good. That's dope. I love that.
So Chef Jannard, and doing the other things outside of just being a chef, when do you feel that the time was right to, like, write a book and start selling your seasonings and stuff like that on the side?
You know, there is no right or wrong time. You just have to make up your mind to do it. I wrote my first cookbook 15 years ago. It was a self-published book, and I felt that it was the best work. I started out, my pen name was The Chef of Love. I started writing love recipes because I knew food and love goes hand in hand.
Facts.
Listen, when you're asking to take someone out on the first date, what'd you say? Can I take you out to eat? Look, I didn't have a lot of money back then, but I knew how to cook. Right. So I felt that was a great segue to help people break into it. And so I just put pen to paper together and started creating all the recipes I learned from my father. I started cooking when I was 10 years old. And what pushed me into doing that was my mother had a heart-to-heart conversation. She said, Jannard, you're not guaranteed to get married, and no lady is guaranteed to cook for you, and you can't live off of fast food. You better get in this kitchen and pay attention and learn how to cook. And I took that literally, and so happened I fell in love with it. My father was a chef as well. And that passion got to a point where it started paying my bills.
Right.
And from there, I understood being a chef is a multifaceted job. People go to culinary school, people learn naturally. But becoming a chef, you have to understand, just because I'm a chef doesn't mean I have to be in a restaurant. And I try to teach young chefs, there are so many ways to cook your way to the top. You walk through a grocery store, you go through the cereal aisle, you seeing all these cereals, cornflakes, everything. There's a chef that created those recipes.
Right.
You know, there's a chef that's writing food blogs. There's a chef, so learning that there are so many ways, and I understood I could break through doors and get in multiple houses by creating cookbooks. And so I did it. I started pitching it, and I landed the opportunity to get my first self-published book on Barnes & Noble shelves. And from there, I just kept doing it, and I decided, hey, now let me figure out how to learn how to manufacture and create my own products. So I launched my own manufacturing company, because we have to understand we can control our destiny.
Right.
And if you're willing to work hard for it, no one can stop you.
Facts. Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations, brother. So, Chicken, man, in 2022, your restaurant was selected by the New York Times as one of the top 50 restaurants in the entire country. That's dope, brother. And you James
That's
being
awesome.
nominated.
Congratulations.
James being nominated too. How did it feel to have your food as well as your business highlighted on such a large platform like that?
Still to the day, me sitting here and every recognition has been entirely unreal. You hear me? Super appreciative. I mean, I know the work and the effort and the love I put into everything I do, but for it to be acknowledged and to be in places like this is unreal. You hear me? It's just it's special. It's special without a doubt.
So Omar, my brother, food.
That's a blessing, bro. I'm gonna say that. That's a blessing, bro. Congratulations,
It
dog.
It really is, brother. Food has been like pivotal to, I think, black families for a long, long time. Right. You know, why do you think food in the kitchen continues to be such a powerful thing in black culture, and what is it about it that makes it special?
You know, the thing about it, and I hate to go to history with it, but like the fact that like when we was on them plantations, we figured out how to get the scraps and to make it into gourmet, right? So I feel like if we can figure that out from that time, it was passed on generational. That like no matter what, you put a Kobe beef in front of us, then we know it's as same as you put some chitlins in front of us, because we know how to doctor that thing up. Thanks. You know, and like I said, like, you know, we eat to live, you know, and if we can figure that out, we can figure it out from that point, then no matter what meat or vegetable or fruit that you put in front of us, we will make it into the greatest thing, because that's what we do. That's what black people do.
Creativity.
Yes.
And I want to chime and add just another nugget to what you said. Yes. Because see, they only tell one side of the story. We know as slaves, we learned how to perfect all the chitlin, the hog maws, and everything. But what they left out is not only was we cooking in the field, but we was cooking in the big house.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And guess what? They was eating the best cuisine in the big house.
No doubt.
So we knew how to perfect the best, and we knew how to take the worst and make it good.
Yes.
So when they see us at the top of our game, it's not only because we took the worst and made it good, it was because we were already cooking the best as well. We know
chefs.
before us, they was eating Chuck Wagon and Beanie Weenies, bro.
Facts. Facts. Hey, and the funny thing is that I was probably gonna be the one back in the day in the kitchen.
Exactly.
So this next question is actually for all of y'all brothers. The food industry has changed so much in recent years. How has technology impacted how y'all run y'all business, and how do you use the internet and social media to help build y'all brands? I'll start with you, Chicken.
Okay, I'm gonna start first. Social media is in everything my business runs through. Back in 2022, before we got the New York Times recognition, our Instagram got hacked. And at the time, we were creeping towards 20,000 followers, but at the time I was content with what the flow of people we had. We was doing good business. And then that page got hacked and people assumed it's just off how the trend of how we posted, that we were closed and shut down. And for that first week, we lost $11,000. You hear me? And then from that, we had to just create a new Instagram page and just hit the pavement and keep engaging with people and creating new content to keep people's attention. Because we live in an era now where there's instant gratification and people attention spans are super short, you hear me? Because there's so many things vying for the attention, you know what I mean? So just having an understanding of that, I just kept re-engaging and keep reaching out to people and selling myself as well as an image of somebody you want to support. And now, 2 years later from us being hacked now, we knocking on the door 100,000 on Instagram. We got 220,000 on TikTok. And on Facebook, we close to 100 too. So we got about 400,000 followers that we garnished over the last 2 years. And that's all, and then that also flipped the revenue in the business as well, besides the New York Times, because that's a fly-by night type of thing where like you got the recognition, people show up, and you catch who you catch, but eventually that story dies down. You know what I mean? But what social media does is give you an opportunity to keep reminding people that you exist. You know what I mean? Keep selling your product every day. We post daily to keep people engaged, and no complaints on this side. We keep it laying out the door every day. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And I would have to say with social media is also as being chefs, it helps us stay on top of what trends, because the way we cooked 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we don't eat that way now. And so social media allows us to see in real time how the food trends, how the market is changing. Also from the tech side, I always say from a business industry, I think that really helps because it helps us really scale on large scales and scale back monetary wise, because from a business standpoint, we can be the best chefs in the world in the kitchen, but if we don't have our business affairs in order, if we're not prepping, if we're not portioning right, that would still hurt our business. And I think technology really helps us scale a little better now than having to truly just crunch numbers the way we did in the past.
You know what? It's crazy because I think we were in Dallas.
Yeah, we was in Dallas.
Me and Greg were in Dallas, and we was with our homeboy Tom. Was doing a comedy special, and we was at all of us at the hotel. And I just remember this guy walked up to Greg, was like, "We dads."
We was in the airport.
In
the airport.
In the airport, and I was like, "Yo, how do you know?" He's like, "Yo, I know him from social media." Social media it opens the whole world up, right? So when you see that your reach is that heavy, like at a touch of a button. So that really made me realize, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. It made me realize how big it is.
Man, we got so many stories.
A million.
I love this dude to death. And I'm not just saying that. For me, if you go to my social media, it's at WeDats. I got like 21,000 posts. I'm burnt out from social media. I've been doing this a long time. I started on the food truck, from the food truck, expanded into locations. Before the pandemic, I had over 10 restaurants. We got CPG products, which is like seasonings and sauces and all that kind of stuff in grocery stores. So like, for me, I understand the value of what social media can do and what it can't do. And social media, you can, like how you said, that instant gratification, it wasn't no instant gratification for me. This 10 years, going on 11 years in the game, doing this, starting on a food truck that I knew nothing about. I graduated from Tuskegee University with a sales and marketing degree. The only reason why I'm sitting on this stage is because the corporate company that I was working with did a company-wide layoff, and right then and there, I was like, I can't depend on this company to put a roof over my head and put food on my table, especially when I'm taking care of my family. So like for me, like I was doing what I had to do. I was able to cook for so many different people. I mean, Omar can name some of the people that we was able. You could go on the Instagram and see. But for me, I think social media right now is everything. But the thing about it is with social media, how I feel is that for some businesses, it's reality. But for other businesses and for what other people are doing, it's self-destruction. So for me, like when I'm on a page, it's strictly directed towards getting people to come to WeDats, because you gotta understand, since the pandemic happened, everybody got restaurants now. Everybody's selling something now. Everybody is a brand. You got NBA, NFL, actors, we gonna get his own products so he can get in the grocery stores. But you got all of these people that are understanding that, guess what? I am a brand myself and I can do whatever it is that I wanna do. So if Omar wants to come out with a seasoning, well, I'm gonna connect Omar with the manufacturer to get Omar his own seasoning. I have the relationship with the grocery stores. We get Omar seasoning on the shelves, but that's what we do. But that, going back to WeDats, which is the name of my corporation, 11 years ago when I created it, it's always been a together thing for me. And a lot of people in the city, influencers that you see that's doing big things, their first pop-up shops was at WeDats on Canal Street. So for me, whatever I can do, like I love to throw assists. Like, you know, I don't need to be, I could be in the background, but I love to, if I can help you, I'm gonna help you, because guess what? I believe in planting seeds. So when you plant those seeds, it might manifest right now. It may take 10 years from now. I've been doing this for 10 years. And guess what? Now I'm on the stage with y'all gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So I just said that to say this, that, and this is one of the things that I really wanted people to understand, because there's a lot of people that want to do a lot of things, but us as black people, and I know I'm light-skinned, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm light-skinned. But us as black people, what we lack is not the financial part. We lack the knowledge. And if we just stick together, rest in peace to George Floyd, I got a chance to speak with him, and not speak with him, but have a speaking engagement with his brother, Phil Floyd. And it's just like, around that movement, it showed how strong black people were together. And it was kind of like back in the 60s when we was all together. So it's like, I feel like if we come together, we don't have that crab in the bucket mentality. We support each other, we spread the knowledge, we give, like, what I give you is not gonna affect me. So it's like, I said all of that to say, because I wanted to get that out. If you have a dream, if you have something that you wanna do, it don't matter what the idea is. Like, look at all of the stuff that's selling on the internet. Like, look at everything that's selling on the internet. It's girl strip. It's girl strip. But look at all of the stuff that's selling on the internet that people be like, damn, I didn't even know nothing like this existed. But it's like, guess what? If you have an idea, don't let nobody tell you that that idea is not, it's not gonna work, or it ain't gonna do that. Because I had so many people say, well, why you leaving working your corporate job with benefits and insurance and all of this and starting a food truck that you know nothing about? It's because, guess what, at the end of the day, whatever I put my mind to, whatever I put my heart to, whatever God put on my spirit to do, I'm gonna do. And he's going to make a way. It might be a lot of trials and tribulations that come with that. And I know we ain't got enough time to talk about all my trials and tribulations over the last 10 years, but eventually, if you stay consistent and you keep doing what you're doing, guess what? You're gonna grow up and you're gonna be, everybody in the world gonna know who you are. Bro, I didn't even know you got acknowledged like that. That's amazing, dog. That's amazing, especially coming from a city like New Orleans, bro. That's amazing, because you competing with how many restaurants we have down here? 3,000, 4,000? So you separated yourself from everybody else, bro. And I just want to tell you, from the last panel we spoke on, about a year ago, I'm proud of you, bro, and keep on going.
Thank you,
Real
brother.
talk.
Appreciate it.
Real talk.
There's a saying for that. How can you learn how to walk on water if you never get out the boat?
Fact.
And that's the key. We got to step out on faith. Doesn't matter if you've never done it before, if you've never experienced it. Be the first to do it. Be the change.
Facts.
This was a beautiful, beautiful conversation. I want y'all to put y'all hands together for Greg Tillery, Omar Dorsey, Chef Jonard, and Chef Chicken, man.